Hey, my name is Ülkan Akgül. I'm currently studying at the Amsterdam Fashion Institute Fashion Design and Textile Technologies. This is my concept presentation, and I will show you what I took from the workshops and how I got to the realization of my concept.
In minimalism and maximalism, I looked at shapes and what they meant for the two terms. In this lesson, I've seen that presentation already says a lot about a certain image, just like in a museum. You can present something very abstract somewhere where it's intensely busy, which changes the whole image. In this workshop, I take the minimalistic aspect of shapes and colors into my concept. In my minimalistic exercise, I saw that flat surfaces and linear shapes have the power, and this really appealed to me. Organic and angular. In the workshop Organic and Angular, I had to focus on architecture. This because form is so decisive for atmosphere. In class I made kind of a collage in which I experimented with organic shapes. Here you can see that I created linear organic shapes with the aerosol. I saw this come back in a lightning bolt, and this is how the main subject of my concept was born. After my obsession with lightning, I had the idea to digitally create an image. Angular image, because it visually represents more power and it reflects my vision on linear and angular shapes. In this image you see what movement and form can do together. It gives depth and it almost hypnotizes. I want to take this digital form of shapes and prints into my concept because it radiates power and strength. It reflects the melancholic vibe of a thunderstorm. I took those shapes and vibe as the basis for my design process. Genderless and gender conform. I wanted to focus on a stereotypical image of gender. My gender conform experiment shows you my interpretation of gender. In this case, the male genitals. Our brain works in a visual way which gives us the idea that everything is about the genitals and not about the brain itself. This is how I come to genderless. Here I looked at people who do not identify as male or female at all. Here it is about feeling and expressing emotion. In the genderless experiment you can see the emotion. I can link these shapes to the unpredictable distortion of lightning. That also generates a lot of emotion, like positive and negative energy, like male and female. I have some pictures of my work here for the couture top that we make for couture techniques. I have also incorporated the abstract and linear in this project. I relate this project because we also work with flat abstract surfaces, and this seems to me a nice addition to my collection. As you know, we have for design and making embroidery exercises, and I find the embroidery itself a good technique to create depth and feeling for a garment. As a specialization, I want to choose knitting, because I do not yet master this technique well, and I think that the contrast between straight surfaces and organic knitting is a nice combination that justifies my storm concept. You will also see an experiment where I work on trousers with paint, just for fun. For this concept, I started at workshop 1, where I get the term deconstruction to create something beautiful out of something ugly. Many people have that with a thunderstorm. A storm is cold and dirty, where negative and positive energy opposites create a lightning. The cause of a lightning is because of opposites. Beautiful, ugly, genderless, gender-conform, minimalism, maximalism, organic, angular, all these aspects are reflected in nature and in our brain, which is guided by electrical impulses. The concept focuses on raw angular shapes that are formed by organic elements. In this concept, I want to focus on textile technologies in which we process bioluminescence and or natural electricity in textiles. The strength and power that nature has and the way we deal with it are also opposites of man and nature. We are part of nature and we cause the lightning to happen in both positive and negative ways. I tried to make as many silhouettes as possible in order to broaden my image. I looked at volume and composition per workshop. I noticed that because I would lose the body shape, I tried to minimize my silhouettes as much as possible and came up with my designs. The designs I have created are mostly symmetrical and very geometric. Again, this because I want to apply the angular aspect in my collection. The main focus in my designs are transparency and protection. For my toolbox, I wanted to focus on movement, repetition, and geometry. Doing research on materials that emit light, whether they show a chemical reaction to light or not. The collection will be very formal and transparent. In terms of colors, I picked up my organic workshop and compared this with images that I thought would fit into my concept, from which these colors originated. I'm not quite sure about the details yet, but it will also mainly focus on knitting and minimal embroidery.